Kirk Herbstreit delivers bold verdict on Brown's fierce four-way QB battle and Shedeur Sanders' role as a rookie. Shedeur Sanders fell from potential top-5 pick to fifth-round selection, but his story isn't over. Cleveland's training camp presents the ultimate test. Can he prove the doubters wrong, or will he become the casualty of the Browns' unprecedented four-way quarterback battle? Will Shedeur Sanders survive Cleveland's quarterback competition? ESPN analyst Kirk Herbstreit has some insight into how things will shake out in Cleveland's unique four-way competition at starting quarterback. My guess would be that they got to go with a veteran, with Joe Flacco, would be my guess, Herbstreit told Jason Siddiqui of The Escapist. One thing I read, Sanders looks like he should start. The next thing is, he's only playing with the younger guys, and he's still in a developmental role. That's pretty common for a draft pick. It takes time to make that adjustment. My guess would be he makes the team, but he's more in a developmental role. The math creates a difficult reality for someone in this competition. If you take Deshaun away, you still have 4 quarterbacks, says Herbstreit. Most teams keep 3. Someone's going to get cut, and I think it's going to be based on how things go in camp. If we're betting on what we think Shedeur will do, my bet is he makes the team, but he's in a backup role. How did Sanders fall so far in the draft? The journey from potential franchise quarterback to fifth-round pick tells a story of high expectations crashing into harsh reality. Some evaluators considered Sanders a top-5 pick as recently as December 2024. However, as the pre-draft process started, observers began to sour on him. The problem started with his interviews. Sanders had a series of meetings with team representatives that reportedly didn't go well, with some team representatives anonymously saying that he was disrespectful and unwilling to participate in mental exercises like illustrating an offense on a whiteboard. Beyond the character concerns, his physical skills and gameplay came under tighter scrutiny. Many evaluators pointed out that he doesn't have the strongest arm and that while he is accurate, he took way too many sacks in college. These issues combined to create a perfect storm. Sanders' draft stock plummeted throughout the winter and into the spring. By the time the draft started, there were rumblings that he could fall out of the first round altogether. The drama played out on live television with Sanders passed over for Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shaw, and Dillon Gabriel before finally being taken in the 5th round by the Browns. Training camps are in full swing, and Cleveland's four-way battle for the starting quarterback job is front and center on the NFL's preseason stage. It's been one of the hottest topics since April's NFL draft, when the Browns drafted Gabriel in the 3rd round and Sanders in the 5th. Sanders' very public fall from grace would have made him a focal point of the offseason. But that spotlight has been intensified, not just because he's a big name, but because of the high-stakes competition he's a part of in Cleveland. One of these 4 quarterbacks will inevitably be cut. Now, Sanders has his shot at redemption. Whether he plays as the starting quarterback or as a backup is entirely up to him. The practice field in Berea shimmered under the July sun, a restless hum of expectation hanging in the air like static. For quarterbacks, each with a story, a chip, or both, took turns rifling passes through the afternoon breeze. And up in the elevated commentary booth, Kirk Herbstreit leaned forward, a glint in his eye that suggested he wasn't just watching practice. He was reading the soul of a franchise. "You don't get many of these," he murmured into his headset as cameras rolled. 4 guys who all believe they're the one. That's not just a competition, it's a storm in the making. The Browns, fresh off a season riddled with injuries and quarterback carousel chaos, had assembled a room that felt more like a reality show than an NFL depth chart. There was the grizzled veteran Kenny Pickett, eager to prove that his best football was ahead. There was the smooth-slinging Dillon Gabriel, a preseason darling with a knack for rhythm throws. Lurking with raw potential was Kaidon Salter, whose athleticism could light up highlight reels or implode a drive in seconds. And then, standing just a bit apart, helmet tucked under his arm, was Shedeur Sanders, the rookie with the famous last name and the target on his back. Herbstreit's voice sharpened as Shedeur stepped into the huddle. "Now watch this kid," Kirk said, almost like he was letting viewers in on a secret. "You see the poise? That's not typical of a rookie who's been here 5 minutes. That's Colorado confidence. That's Deion Sanders' kid knowing every eye is on him, and still daring to smile." On the field, Shedeur took the snap. The defense surged, the pocket collapsed. But instead of panicking, he slid to his left, eyes scanning, arm cocked. With a flick that looked effortless, the ball arced 30 yards and hit a receiver in stride, just past the fingertips of a diving corner. The sideline erupted in whoops. Herbstreit chuckled. That, Kirk said, pointing to the replay monitor, is what's going to keep coaches awake at night. He's not the fastest in this group. He's not the strongest. But man, the instincts, you can't coach that. Still, the battle was anything but settled. Later in practice, Gabriel strung together a series of laser throws, threading the ball between linebackers like a surgeon with a scalpel. Salter rolled out on a designed bootleg and uncorked a 55-yard bomb that drew gasps from the crowd. Even Pickett, written off by some as yesterday's news, showed command in the 2-minute drill, barking orders with the authority of someone who knew the system inside and out. Herbstreit watched it all, flipping through notes, occasionally glancing at his producer. This isn't just about talent, he said during a commercial break. It's about identity. What do the Browns want to be? If they want stability and experience, they go Pickett. If they want upside with a short learning curve, it's Gabriel. Salter? He's your wild card, your home run swing. And Shedeur, well, he's the future knocking early. As practice wound down, Sanders lingered on the field, taking extra reps with backup receivers. His father, Deion Sanders, had visited camp earlier that week, and the rookie was still buzzing from their conversation. Pop told me, Shedeur said quietly to a reporter later, you don't wait for a chance, you make one. Every throw, every read, you prove you belong. Herbstreit, walking toward the team facility, replayed those words in his mind. When asked by a local beat writer for his final verdict, he didn't hesitate. Here's my bold take, he said, his voice carrying that signature confidence that made millions tune in every Saturday. By mid-season, Shedeur Sanders isn't just competing. He's starting games for the Cleveland Browns. The reporter blinked. Over all three? Over all three, Herbstreit repeated, a grin breaking across his face. Because you can feel it out there. He's got the calm of a 10-year veteran and the swagger of a rookie who's not scared of anything. That combination is rare. And when the bullets start flying,